Hello, good morning. Another Trading 101 video here for you guys. This is AABB, and this is a variation of my dip and rip idea pattern. So what I was looking for is this actually kind of fell out of the gate, and it offered a pretty good morning panic dip buy if that's your MO, and you can nail bottoms. If you had bought here and sold here, it would have been a nice quick little 15%, somewhere in that neighborhood, depending on your entry and your exit. The way that I traded this one this morning, set the low here at 1851, and I actually entered here after this kind of doji candle. I thought a higher low was in play. You can see the volume, as well as how heavy that dip was being bought into. So I figured that was a higher low and that it was going to continue higher. So I entered right here, and it wasn't the higher low that I really like to see, but on these trades I like them because you can have a really tight risk level 9 times out of 10. So I'm risking off from an 1850 break because that's the actual low of the day, and if it breaks below that, then chances are the stock's going to continue lower. So I entered, I think, 18.8 and some change. I bought 10,000 shares here, and was risking off an 1850 break. So it's about a $50 loss I'm risking. Then it dropped down and it tried to bounce a little bit here. But right here was really indicative of what was going on. There was a ton of hidden size at 1851. I'm talking like all these red prints were going through, and they were just getting eaten up. And there was only 10,000 shares showing on the bid, but 100,000, 200,000, 400,000 shares were going through at 1851, and it wasn't moving. Same thing happened here. Again, it bottomed out. Actually, not quite. It was a little higher there. It was 1852. I think the hidden size moved up, and it was just soaking up all of the sellers. So I was pretty confident in it. After it bounced off 1851 here, I actually added some in the 1860s. Right in here, I doubled down. So I had 20,000 shares from about an 18.7 average, and risking off from 1850, risking about a $80 loss, I think it was. Anyways, you can see this volume came in here, and then it went a little crazy, and I actually took some off, I believe, right around 19.6, somewhere in that neighborhood. I sold half of it, and then I kept the other half, hoping for a 20-cent test. And it's still down on the day, but the dip and rip can happen on down plays or slightly green plays. It's just important to note when the low is in play, or when you think it is, and to have a tight risk level for this pattern to develop. So I took some off in the 19.6s, and then I let it consolidate here. And when it set this low, I moved my risk to 1950. And I'm not a perfect trader, and it wasn't a great risk level. I should have had it at probably the same risk level, actually, but or 19 even. So I actually sold in this pullback in the 19.3s. Made about $140, I think, on the trade in total. But obviously this was kind of a shakeout as it continued higher. It broke 20 cents, and now it's actually pushing for a new high a day right now. So once again, I'm not a perfect trader, but I made out all right on this one. This is one of my more consistent patterns, as you can keep your risk really tight, like I said, 9 times out of 10. So even when they don't work, you're only losing, a small percent. And when they do work, you can actually bank 20% pretty quickly. So it's a nice pattern to know and understand. And remember that lows typically are where volume is, and actually the same thing with highs. A lot of the times there'll be a perk in volume when it reaches a high. Right now is not really a good example of that because it's trading on really low volume. So I'd be a little timid to still be in this if I was. But the volume is a key indicator of when lows are in play. This recovery right here would be a good indication to enter if you hadn't already. You can see the high volume and a large candle, green candle upwards. Took out all the sellers and continued up. And that's about all I have on the dip and rip idea pattern for today. I'll see if I can find another example of it in the near future. But this one was a pretty good trade for me today, even if my exit kind of sucked. I left a lot on the table there. But that's alright. Made some money. I won't complain about profits. And here comes a shameless plug. Make sure that you like and subscribe. We got Trading 101 videos coming out on the regular. We also do watch lists in the morning outlining the possible plays for the day, as well as the recap at the end of the day explaining what happened. If I made money, if I lost money, I'm going to continue to be transparent. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If I lose, I'm going to tell you I lost. If I win, I'm going to tell you I won. So join me for the ride, the experience, and the education. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day.